Hello Floss Tube, it is Saturday the 1st of July and it has been a very long time since I last uploaded an update. I think it was something like the 20th of May. I just had a quick look on YouTube to double check what I had shown you last time. But yeah, so there's no like one specific reason for that really, it's just life has got very busy. My enthusiasm for cross stitch has got sort of ups and downs really. Yeah, I've not been as inclined to, sit down and start stitching as soon as I get home from work in recent weeks. I still enjoy it, but I've kind of not been as obsessed, maybe if that's the right word, obsessed over it in recent weeks. So yeah, work's very busy. I went away last week with my class to an activity camp type place in Lincolnshire. So for me that's about 2 hours away, and then we stayed there from Monday to Wednesday, so that's very intense, taking 50 odd 10 and 11-year-olds. But yes, quite fun but intense and exhausting. So I think I've done that about 5 or 6 times now since I've been a teacher, so yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah, what else have I been up to? So not doing an awful lot today. My husband, who's a paramedic, is on a day shift, and because he lives so close, well, we live so close to where he works, that's why I keep looking out the window. He if he's working on a fast response car rather than a big truck, he'll come home and wait for his radio to go off for the next job. So he left for work this morning at about 6 o'clock ish, and then I think came home about 10ish, and then didn't have to go off again until about 11:30, and he hasn't been home since then. So he must be fairly busy out there. So yeah, so it could be that if he does appear, I'll probably stop it halfway through and then resume later, as I'd rather film these when he's not here, just because I prefer to do these on my own. Anyway, okay, so I have done, even though I said my enthusiasm has waned a little bit, I have done quite a bit in the last 5 or 6 weeks since I last posted an update, so I'll get started on showing you some of that. So what shall I do first? I'll tell you what, here we go. So I have started a secret project, so I haven't posted, apart from like one really cryptic picture. I've started a kit for my friend who I work with, who is having a baby. Oh, sorry, each time a car goes past I think, I'm sure the neighbours must wonder what's going on. We have an ambulance parked up on the driveway frequently. Hopefully they realise by now. Yeah, so I've been working on this secret project for about must be about a month or so. Yeah, so she's having a baby during November. I had started quite a bit of it, and then I'd stopped it for a couple of weeks because she had a bit of a rough couple of weeks. She had to have some extra tests and weren't sure if the baby was okay and all that sort of thing, so it didn't kind of feel right to stitch on it for that period of time. Don't know why, I just didn't feel quite right, but all is good now, and so I started back on it again. So this is the kit. I'm not sure if I actually showed you this in my video last time. I might have done and not started it, but yeah, so, and it matches, I think I did, and I have previously done one for the same person for her first child from the same company, Vervico. Yeah, Vervico. And it was a big red double-decker bus with lots of animals popping out the window, and this kind of looks similar. The animals are of the same sort of style, and it kind of complements the other one. So yeah, I think the one I did before of the bus was one of the biggest projects I've ever completed, so this one isn't quite as big. But I substituted the fabric for this, so it came with white Ada. Not sure what count, but it came with white Ada. And I substituted it for a blue one that I got from Sparkly's Fabric of the Month. In a blue shade, so it can kind of be like the sky in the background. So yeah, I'll show you what I've done. So if I hold this here and that there, you can kind of see where I'm up to. So I've done one of his trouser leg here. Yeah, it's a couple of shades of orange, and then some yellow and white detail on the cuff and on the patch there. I've done most of his head. There's some lighter brown to go here. I'm currently doing the mouth. And yeah, so the bear is like the main bulk of it. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying this. I'll hopefully get to do some later today and maybe even tomorrow. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see the colour of the fabric, but it's just a very pale blue. Thought just a bit more interesting than white. Yeah. So I also bought this new R&R frame from So&So. I had a conversation with Essex Stitcher, where she was asking me about R&R frames, what size and whatnot, and I recommended her the 11x17 one that I had. So I was using that for this, but I could only get this fabric to fit on that one landscape, and it kind of is a bit awkward, so it's better when I can use it portrait. So I decided to buy myself an 11x11 square frame, which suited this project a bit better. And I have kind of found that a larger square one would be useful at certain times, so bought one of these. And I've just this morning messaged the Crafty All Sorts page on Facebook, who makes covers for these. So I sent her a message this morning asking if she would make one for this, and yeah, she's going to do it this weekend, I think, and let me know next week when it's ready, and I will pay her and then she'll send it to me. So I have to say, I really recommend them. Her page on Facebook isn't overly active. She's kind of started it up and left all the pictures of the fabric that she's got, and kind of just leaves it as it is. So I thought, oh, maybe, you know, maybe she might not reply, she might not be doing it anymore. But I commented on a photo, and within a couple of hours she replied and said she would make it for me. So yeah, it's Crafty All Sorts, and they're really, really reasonable as well. I think the one for an 11x11 is about £4.70. Yeah, and all my other covers for the frames have come from her as well. So I did order one from someone on Etsy once. Not one that I've heard anyone mention, but the elasticity wasn't very good, and it didn't last too long. So yeah, thoroughly recommend Crafty All Sorts. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and I should be finished well before November, hopefully in the 6 weeks school holidays. 3 weeks to go. 3 weeks to go. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, I forgot to also point out my new needle minder here. So they're really funky sunglasses. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, there's a magnet just on one side of the glasses, so that's where the needle is. But I ordered that from Lister Stitches. She has an Etsy page and an Instagram account, and originally I saw her photo for some new needle minders that she was doing. So the dinosaur was the one I really wanted. Well, I wanted all of them, but this was the one that kind of made me do a purchase. So got this one, And then I really like the glasses as well. I can't just order one. Seems a little bit pointless, so went for two. And then she very kindly included this one in the order. So yeah, so I've got those two and the sunglasses from Lister Stitches. So thank you very much. Oh, too many magnets. Oh, I'm having a magnet nightmare. They're all sticking to each other. Oh. Right, there we go. See if I can do this. Hooray. Right, okay, I've done that one. We put these out of the way. Right, okay, so there are 3 other things that I have worked on in the last 5 or 6 weeks. So this was something I had planned out in my last video. I was talking about lots of colour substitutions that I was going to do. So this is Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. And I talked about how I was going to substitute some of the colours for a bit more, yeah, so they're a bit more vivid. Struggling for words, people, struggling for words. Okay, so this is where I have got to. So I'm really pleased with my colour substitutions, and it looks as though my phone is about to run out of storage space, so I will be right back. I'm back. Freed up some gigabytes. Right, so yeah, as I was saying, that I'm really pleased with the colour substitutions I have made for this. So I'm really pleased with the green fabric I've chosen as well. So yeah, quite a bit still to do on this, and I haven't actually touched this for quite a while now, but yeah, I've got some of the bunting at the top, got most of the lady done, and I've used some Weeks Dye Works, a grey, I can't remember what it's called, it's a grey shade. Oh, pewter it's called. Yes, I've used that to do the scissors here. And yeah, so this is another needle minder from Lister Stitches as well. So yeah, pleased with that one. Oh, back. Okay, so 2 more whips to show you. So this one I've done a little bit of, I think, in my last video, and this is a design of Thor that is going to be sent off to Love Quilts. It's quite monotonous, there's lots of block stitching, but that is where I'm at so far. So it's, the design is, he's got quite a big head and a fairly little body. So that's what I've done. I'll show you the pattern really quickly. So that's all I've got, it's just a pattern. So you can see still quite a bit more to do. I think I'll probably do all the dark outline of everything and then fill everything in afterwards. So yeah, there's no rush on this one. Sometimes you can sign up on Love Quilt for specific children's quilt, but this is just to go in their general stockpile should anyone request a superhero themed quilt. And this needle minder is from No More Lost Needles. So yeah, it looks quite good on camera actually. Yeah, okay, put that one away. And that's being stitched on 14 count white Ada. And white Ada is the only thing really you're allowed to use for Love Quilts. Count doesn't matter, I don't think, but yeah, white Ada. So then all the designs on the quilt look uniform and similar. Okay, and then one more. Again, I haven't done very much on this at all. So this is Bothy Threads 4 Owls. You might remember that this is the kit I took with me on the plane when I went to New York in February. Got quite a lot done on the plane. I've only had, I think, what did I do this for? I only did a very small bit on this a week or two ago. I think nothing else was really appealing or calling to me at that time, so I decided to do a little bit of this. So this is being stitched on a fabric by Crafty Kitten. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a peachy tone. And I have finished the main green part of the body, and then I'm doing like the part of the checkerboard effect of its wing here. So colour looks quite similar to the fabric actually, so it's not, doesn't stand out too well there. But I think it's white that goes in between it, so that maybe will bring it out a little bit more. So yeah, and my cake needle minder would be from Needle Keep Emporium. So yeah, that's that one. And again, this is an even weave of some sort, but I can't remember what it is. Maybe I should write all of this down, the colour, the name of the colour, where it's from, the count, the type of fabric. But I've barely got time to stitch as it is, so I don't really want to spend more time writing everything down. So yeah, so they're all my whips. I told you about my new purchases, my new frame and needle minders. Oh, I had one FFO. I did put a picture on Instagram, but I will take you on a little magical mystery tour and show you on the wall. Show you my little cross stitch corner. So it might be a bit dark under here, but it's a bit shiny. I don't know if you can see it very well. I can't flip the camera around. How's that? Oh, it's got glare on it. I don't know if you can see that very well. Maybe I'll just come out a bit. But the long panoramic one was a finish a few months ago, and I bought the frame from eBay, and I've added it to my cross stitch corner. So yeah, I've got 4 things up there now. So I was really pleased with the frame for that, because I thought it really matched the dark browns of the bears and the trees. So yeah, I've got all the other patterns in that series, but I haven't started anything yet. Okay, so yeah, that is everything I have to report really. Thank you Essex Stitcher again for accepting my request to join your crafty group. I've yet to contribute, but I'm sure I will in the next few days or so if I get some stitching done. I haven't really watched many Floss Tubes either, actually. I watched some of Stitcherista's when she was talking about using, I think she was talking about using perforated paper. Yeah, I was trying to see if Amanda Stitching had a new video, but hasn't for a while, a bit like me. So hopefully I'll see you soon, Amanda, with a video. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, sorry I keep looking out the window. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely weekend, and I think it's set to get warmer again in the UK. There was a heat wave, not this week just gone, but the weekend before. I don't really cope too well with heat, and I probably got on everyone's nerves moaning about it. A few years ago we made a purchase of a Dyson fan. Now they are expensive, but where we used to live in our flat used to be boiling, even not in the summer. We barely had the heating on in the winter, so it was a really good investment, and it kept us going through all the hot weather that we've had over the last few years, periodic heat waves. And then so had the fan down week before last during the heat wave, and the fan decides to pack up. So we thought we had a power cut or something, because it just kind of went boom and nothing. So the husband tried changing the fuses in the plug, tried different sockets, tried taking the main bit of it apart and seeing if there was anything wrong with it. Sorry, itchy eye. a note, nothing. And this was the day before I was due to go away with my class. And, you know, we struggle sleeping anyway when it's so hot, let alone without having a fan in the room. So, barely slept. I was on the coach on the way up to Lincolnshire. I thought, I'm going to send Dyson a message on Facebook, see what comes of that. Because we've had it over 2 years, and I think your warranty runs out after 2 years. So, messaged them and explained the problem. They said it sounded like a fault with the machine, and would I like a brand new one as a replacement without paying for anything? So, yes. It wasn't exactly the same fan as the one I had before, because I don't think they make that one now, but the one I've got is equally as good, and maybe even a little bit quieter, because that's one of their selling points, is they say that their fans are very quiet. Although when I had my original one, it wasn't quite as quiet as I thought it was going to be, but this one is definitely quieter, so they've obviously improved it slightly. But if you struggle with heat like me, then a Dyson fan is a definite worthwhile purchase. But anyway, I've gone a little bit off topic, but yeah, just something else interesting that happened to me in the time I've not been on Floss Tube. So there you go. But anyway, so thank you for watching my video, if you are still here listening to me ramble on about fans. And I hope everyone has a lovely weekend, and I'm looking forward to watching everyone's updates on Floss Tube and Instagram. Please feel free to drop me any questions or comments, and I will reply. And yeah, thank you all for watching.